Alright, welcome back to Pyre. I don't even remember where we left off. I think we were about to... Oh yeah. Next right is the Nest of Trieste. So quick recap. What's happening in this game? It's kind of a difficult game to summarize in a meaningful way. We're all a bunch of exiles. We take part in these rites to determine... Actually, I don't know if they've quite determined what the point is. I know from previous playthroughs what the point is. Like what the... You know, why do we care about winning these rituals? So I don't want to spoil that. But we wander these wastelands, you know, seeking out other rivals. We follow the stars to figure out which rite is next, and that's how I've arrived at this location. Let me double check my items here. Oh, he's got a lot more stuff now. Oh! After dousing the adversary's pyre, the bearer's pyre is restored by up to +5. That's pretty good. The adversary's banished by the bearer, take 1 to turn. So let's buy this for 6. Yeah, see. I should probably buy that for 19. Dang, this one's 200. Well, oh yeah, I'm just reminding myself. These stay in the store, so it's not like this is my only time to buy them. But I don't know the next when the store will appear again. Let's just buy it. You know, I probably have quite enough items, because really, when it comes down to it, you can only take 3 items into battle with you, right? Because there's only 3 characters. There's only 3 characters on your team. Let's go. You and your fellow exiles gather on the blasted lands called the Nest of Trieste, expecting the imminent commencement of the rites. The exiled harp matriarch lived in solitude among these very cliffs. Oh yeah, we had a run-in with these creatures called harps, which are kind of like humanoid bird people. You see no sign of any adversaries, but then you hear a whooshing sound above. There's a winged woman, just like I was saying.
Lingua pale. Stiviterja gava. Sabas na majna.
She mad.
Idem voluptes.
Oplira naira.
Paresta legaramis.
Ametha. That's an interesting name.
Da facque spere. Se. Sente misere.
Nilarum bere.
¿San seguro estás?
Nakim Tamir.
Sandalwood again.
Serum Tabi.
Edwin's expecting her to join our team. You turn your attention to Pamitha, who's been watching with bemused interest.
Miricare a mitad.
You sense that she is conflicted about something, though you do not know what. You also sense, however, that her motives, here and now, are earnest. Edwin wants to know your initial impression of Pamitha. She got wings, that's my impression. She seems alright. I am willing to take Pamitha at her word and see in her the potential for a valuable new ally. You tell Edwin that you think the group should take its chances with Pamitha and take her at her word.
Kukure Masar.
He agrees.
Sapugnar Vedas.
Vestalium.
Nire Tempradar.
Have to find a way to get along with Jordario.
Marikasanda.
Pamitha Thane joined you. She is a Scorpio. Let's bid her welcome. Am I gonna have to use her for this?
I
Right?
thought for sure the stars would have eluded you by now. Yet here you are, somehow, upon the nest of Trieste. And you've swelled the ranks of your triumvirate not merely with another, but with two. One from the Pyre heart, no less. And one who seeks the favor of the adversaries whom you'll imminently face. They are the essence. Winged terrors, as you soon shall see. Can your longing for freedom match their hatred for the vibrant country that was once your home?
From a distance, you observe as Pamitha, now clad in Nightwing raiments, heads towards your adversaries in the rights.
Traverame.
Your new companion then looses the bindings on the mask.
Aresoshin.
Wait, her name is Tamitha? And Pamitha. Ah, of course, they're sisters.
Makenarum dirge. Mazoshin. Verame. La vistaretas. Vare vafinam. Aldirame.
This knight is flattered that you have not eaten him alive. Sir Gilman refuses to participate in the rites this night so that Pamitha can face her sister. You observe the treacherous terrain. Pamitha should be better suited to the rites here than the rest of them.
The rite shall begin forthwith.
Forthwith. Oh, what if I look this thing up? I guess I might as well try this thing out. Oh, I see. It's because I haven't picked her yet. Okay. That's funny. Storytelling through gameplay. They're all taking a step back to make sure that Pamitha makes it onto this team. Guess I'm good with that item.
It almost day after this.
Thought I'd never ask. What if there's something you could do to affect that choice? If the little bird is going to conduct the rites for us, then I shall not. If there was some way that you could not pick Pamitha for this one, and then Jordario could. It's probably just the way it's gotta be. Alright, so this guy's still out. Yeoman. She's out. That leaves just a few. Tizo can fly a little bit, so he might be a good pick for this match. Yeah, let's go Tizo.
Tizo.
What else we got? So, if they're flying, does that mean I can't hit them with my cast? Rookie can jump a second time. Oh! That would probably be pretty helpful too. Let's do that.
Rookie.
Ooh!
The choice is cast.
Kavara Sorshan.
Pamitha seems to sense your presence, and then catches your attention.
Legarami.
I'd like it very much if you could minimize how often I'm to wallow in a state of banishment. So now they've thrown us a little twist. So not only do I have to try to win, I have to try to meet this extra condition. But if she plunges into the flame, then that also banishes her.
Reader, you put yourself amidst a feud between two sisters? That seems entirely unwise. Even for you. Tread lightly around that exiled Pamitha. Her kind's all but forgotten Saint Triesta's grace.
Oh, and she can dodge or dash in midair too. Push people around. While tackling, Pamitha cannot be banished.
Melodia Shenta.
Alright, let's see what she's got.
My goodness!
Shit. Rookie!
The Night Wings are first to strike the adversary's flame.
Here's the demo.
Oh, hey, yeah. You know how to fly.
Audira Tensa. Siempre Vares.
Do it, Tizo. Bam! Ooh, he fell in. Shit.
Beneath contempt.
Fuck.
Get me water to drive.
That was close.
That was the last of them. Down goes that one.
Oh, how'd that happen? Oh no!
Be gone now, Tabitha.
Oh shit! Went the wrong way.
Pyre sputters.
Out.
Maraga.
Okay. Go for it!
Glorious.
That double jump looks nice.
How comical. Tough luck, Nightwings.
Alright, so you can't really rely on...
Push that.
You can't rely on...
Neither triumvirate is closer than the other.
Nope.
Rookie plunged into their pyre.
You can't rely on the
Your
harp's
adversary's pyre now falls
presence.
short of yours.
It's too, like, wobbly. Pop, pop,
The
pop,
sacred
pop!
law. Righteous fire.
Sweet. That double jump is everything, man.
Poor exile.
That was kind of dumb of it. You want to go again? Oh shit!
No, you
Drop.
don't.
Or it jumped. Bam!
Exactly by the book.
Soveshe de Maritavos. Triscari taniteram.
Something happened between them.
Morgaba.
Fail over 10 of them. Oh, we're going one-on-one here. All
What
right.
is it those two think they're doing? The rights are not the place to settle petty scores. And it is done. The you-know-who prevailed.
That was quick.
Their adversaries proved no match for them. The right is ended.
Graviter vibraligas. Terem zakdadaret. Fuma. Mezavre taros. Vastalantes.
The 8 scribes bless us with their ways. 'Twould appear that rookies not too old to learn new tricks.
Alright, Ricky, what do we got here? Alright, I think we're working on this column. Sprinting, he accelerates faster than usual, and even faster top speed. Three is banished. There's a 50% chance to return in only 1 second. go this way. Turn him into a ninja.
The imp Tizo appears to have a certain depth of knowledge.
Alright, same thing. I think we're building on the left column here. After imploding, he returns much faster than usual. I didn't use that at all last round. The implosion is bigger. I think I'll use it more often if it has less of an impact on his, presence in the right. Oh, really? She's like 2 experience to go.
Until the stars align.
She'll level up next time for sure. After prevailing over the Essence with great prowess, you and the others return to your wagon to consider your next move, and how best to integrate Hamitha into the group.
Agres temporale.
Serum Tave.
Ligeratus,
We're gonna go look at the stars.
consul simpletavas.
Let us seek now our destination. I'm pretty sure it's this big, shiny one.
Satempralis.
Kim verita.
Requestarevas.
Terventaro.
Inveremas.
It seems you are soon to finally meet Sandalwood. At dawn you shall have to cross a single narrow path leading west, where he supposedly awaits. I guess this guy must have some kind of map of the stars, right? And its corresponding locations. According to the minstrel, he knew when and where we would be. Alright. Got some things to poke at in here. Hamitha's moonshine. Kept close at hand in the off chance of a good occasion or a very bad one. Oh, I think I just drank some. Oh, right, story time. Alright. Let me see if I remember where we left off. We're reading about the first, or the last emperor, who was the first exile. And now this guy, this emperor, people knew he was like very greedy and self-absorbed, and so they like tricked him on like this grand mission to get him like out of the city. And it was just a matter of time before his greed got the better of him. I think that's all we've learned so far, really. So, the hunt for myrrh. My emperor lay there, bleeding and alone, stranded in a bitter land beyond the river. With fleeting consciousness, he understood the folly of his quest, and the folly of his rule over his country. Thus did he await the last embrace. It was the imp Haub that nursed him back to health, and warned him often of the dangers he would have to face. Many enemies of Myrrh would come in search for him, some under employment by the rope collar, some longing openly for cold, uncomplicated vengeance. I was one of them. I plunged into the river willingly. We needed to be sure that he was dead. Alright, so yeah, this guy was on some river expedition and at one point realized, like, oh, this is dumb. Why am I doing this? And along the same lines realized, you know, he recognized the folly of his rule over his country, like, oh, that was dumb of me. And I guess while he was still, before he was exiled, there were all these other people. The rope collar is the guy who, like, convinced him to go on this quest to begin with. Well, person. I guess we don't even know if it's a person. The only name we know them by is rope collar. So they sent additional people after Myrrh to kill him. And I guess there's just some citizens that were just like, oh, this is a good chance to gank this guy. And we'll have to find out more later. We're still only on chapter 1, by the way. Let's talk to Pamitha. You approach Pamitha, who has kept to herself since she joined your small band. You sense she is unaware of you as she preens her flight feathers. But then, she speaks up before you can do the same.
Vastalantes?
How exactly does she preen these feathers? She doesn't have hands. Like, her wings are her arms. She doesn't have, like, separate arms. Like, she actually, like... like a bird would?
Dashem poridas. Imprajetaste. Mote vrenitasta.
Okay. Yo, Nightseer. How's it going? Let's see how your delay is tonight. How long does it take you to to hear me? Ah! Guess we're going to the sulfur main. Sounds pleasant. The wagon has hit a snag, descending the black crags. Its wheel is stuck. Jodariel is not pleased. I thought Ruki checked the wheels like 8 times. Though you lack Jodariel's raw strength, you join in as she attempts to dislodge the wagon. At last, with a roar and a heave, she forces the wagon back onto solid ground. May this sandalwood be worth all the hassle. It's weird, the delay isn't in your stream itself.
Te faras.
What do you mean by that? Soon, the wagon is prepared to press onward, down the jagged slopes toward Waking Wood. Your companions who explored ahead advise on which of the forked paths is best. Oh, so you're saying the delay is in the chat, like it takes your messages a while to show up, right? But you hear me like, yeah, you hear me like when I say pretty immediately. You hear what I say pretty immediately. Gotcha. And actually, okay, cool. I don't think it's quite as bad as last time. Oh, geez, there's like a ton of stuff over here. Alright, Flamberg. Lands on a northern plateau over Waking Wood, pocked with seething fissures. Sir Gilman claims he can dig up something valuable here. Or Glass Peak. lands to the east of Wakingwood, riddled with black crags. Hamitha says she can procure a talisman here. So we get a resource, probably a resource, that we can sell for some cash, or a brand new item. Which would usually be my choice. What do you think? You agree? And remember, what we've learned so far, I could pick either of these and actually get nothing out of them. Oh, yeah, delay isn't too bad on my phone. The delay is at least a couple minutes if I'm using the work computers. Oh, well, that makes sense. Alright, I'm gonna go here. Glass Peak. Having gone the route Hamitha recommended, she directs you toward a particular crag, no more conspicuous than any other.
Programelun kaže.
Hamitha swoops up to a nearby peak and disappears behind it. She does not keep you waiting long, and returns bearing an item of some sort.
Paresta legaramis.
She had buried treasure. Hamitha found a Titan tooth. It should come in useful. After blocking airborne adversaries, the bearer briefly stuns them and knocks them back. Oh, nice. Tizo was blocking the heck out of those swoopy ones. The Essence, that's what they were called. Cool. Having passed beyond the Black Crags, your wagon arrives at the edge of Wakingwood. It is here that Sandalwood is to be expecting you. However,
Emiscaraje.
Pistalium.
Val.
Temavrare.
Strale taligna.
Cogere tamtas.
the lone minstrel notes two possible paths forward from this point, though cautions that the woods are difficult to navigate, and Sandalwood would have known the most expedient path. I wonder how I get to these unknown areas. Alright, we got a couple choices here again. Needlefield. The lone minstrel says his client Sandalwood studied the rites here. Sounds pretty promising then, if we're going to try to find this guy. Greymore. The lone minstrel says his client Sandalwood once resided here. I feel like those are pretty equal in terms of our probability of finding this guy. I guess we're going through the woods either way, so let's pick south again.
Sarambilios.
Of course, he can't locate his residence without him. Unfortunately, you find no trace of Sandalwood, and without him there to guide you, you remain quite lost. The woods seem to have encroached. There is no path forward, while neither of the paths leading backward appear to match the route you took to this point. It's like the mysterious forest. Alright, Burnt Grove. Ashen Grounds amid Wakingwood. Tay seems drawn to this location for some reason. Under Thicket. Southern Pass through Wakingwood. The imp Tizo seems to wish to go towards this location. Alright, do we want to side with Tay or Tizo? We don't have much of a hint in terms of what we might find there. The votes. Probably gonna side with Tizo then. Just cuz. Here we go. The woods are so disorienting at this point that you decide to break for camp and survey the surroundings for any clues. Perhaps later there shall be time to pursue your vocations. Alright. The Beyonder Crystal seeks Jodariel. Means we got another training challenge coming up.
Marin Frantes.
Let's do it. Ah, you asked Sandra to administer one of her special trials for Jodariel.
Malodemos te.
Tutirate.
Tusitas nare.
Saventuta.
Varacumti naritus. Pisare regius.
You are old and slow.
Crevita de filo.
Yeah, go ahead, try to pick that shit up. Oop, shit. Damn it. Alright, now they've got one less thing. Oh no! Oh, that stupid stability orb that they get when they tackle a new. Wow, this is not going very well. Shit, I'm not sure if I can, like, jump away from that. That was weird. Oh my god, okay, they're... That was kind of a pro move. They threw the orb at me to make me pick it up. I guess that's what I need to do to them. Shit! Well, that was fucking terrible. I hope I can retry that.
Verenza de Marontes.
Yes, we can do better. Alright.
Shimarexilia.
I wonder if they considered only giving you, like, one chance at a time. If you had to like, if you failed, you would have to like wait a little bit, make the stakes a little higher. Yes. No. Jump. This one's hard. It's like way harder than the other one. Shit. And jump over these walls. Oh, I can. Damn it, she caught up with me. Oh, the wall's blocking my aura. Alright, how do I win this thing? Ooh, there we go. Damn it. Couldn't jump fast enough. Spawn! She can't jump far enough. Yes, my aura is bigger. Get in there! Alright, one more. Ooh, nice. Okay. You feel so vulnerable when she's got the orb because she's so slow. But even when you don't have an aura, you can jump, and that shockwave will push them away. So even though you can't knock them out, you can't banish them. You can still keep them far enough away that you're safe. And then in this case, I just jumped and then immediately dashed for the Pyre. Sweet, we made it. You have received Solium's horn for completing Judariel's trial. Wait a minute, Solium is the guy who that book is about. Solium Mur was a demon. Could explain why he was could be another reason he was exiled. Oh, I should have highlighted it to see what it does. Let's hop in here. Surely it's an item just for Jodariel. Let's see. Jodariel casts her aura farther and faster than usual. 18%. Let's see. Make it 21%. Yeah, let's do it. Oh, interesting. You can't upgrade this one. I wonder... Oh, yeah. It has no level. Let's just do it. Cool. Let's investigate the surroundings. You find nothing of interest while sifting through the tall brush of the underthicket. But then...
Kalasivama.
Tizo. The little imp brings to you a strip of bark. It does not seem unusual at first until you notice a message carved onto the inside. You found a bark strip. It must mean something.
Posta viram.
Templatave.
Gratanim.
Oh, nice. Okay. Oh, I meant to look. Can I look now? So I still have my quickness boosted from my previous, whatever this is. It's studying in private. I'm like pretty good with like +1 quickness all around, but I don't know if you study this more, will that add onto it, or will it replace your current buff? Combine buff and boost. I've already got at least one thing I think I can sell. Let's find out. Because I think the more you do this, the stronger the buffs can get. You excuse yourself from the others to go pore over the Book of Rites and its mysteries. Through greater understanding comes the reader's influence. Focus on which aspect of the Book of Rites. Master the other aspects of the book to unlock this. So I can only study hope, quickness, or presence. Oh, I see. Celerity, currently rank 1 of 2. So I'm guessing if I study this, it will rank it up to make it probably +2 quickness to everybody. But if I wanted to switch, it would probably replace it. Right? Let's find out. The 8 scribes who composed the book, their influence and their experience spreads through the pages into the willing reader's deepest consciousness. Inspiration comes to you in a flash. Whether from the book or from within, you cannot tell. You gain the reader's influence, celerity. Should be rank 2, right? Yeah, all Nightwings gain +2 quickness. We are down with the quickness. Off to Cinderroot. Back through more of the Lorax trees. You arrive on the outskirts of Cinderroot, but once again, the informant Sandalwood is nowhere to be found. You sense the hopes of your companions waning as your search through the area yields nothing. Then, something startles the little imp Tizo. That's his scary face. Oh. A tall figure strides forward from the trees, making a sound like laughter. The imp charges toward him and leaps right into the figure's arms. They embrace. Oh, they know each other.
Vimestaritas.
Wooden man. The tall sap produces something that the imp swallows immediately and with great pleasure. Saps are tree-like creatures known for their ingenuity, cleverness, and ambition. Having allied with them, the Commonwealth achieved in decades what it could not achieve in centuries. So they're like Ents, or kind of like between Ents and Dryads. Probably mostly like Dryads, right?
Kodashem.
Volfrid Sandalwood.
Lerame tempus.
Simbaratas.
The sap looks upon the lot of you. You cannot sense his thoughts. No thoughts, Eden.
Iridet.
Might be hollow. I mean, he is made of wood.
Ashtaji ligaratus. Kerea merastes.
I see. So, he used to be the Nightwing's reader. You consider what to say to all of this. Wolfred intends to relieve you of your duties to the group. You could just be like, alright, bye. You have been assured your freedom. You categorically refuse to be cast aside so easily. The leader of the Nightwings has returned. You can tell when you are no longer wanted. This cannot be happening. To have come this far only to be brushed aside by some strange sap. Yeah, get out of here. You stand your ground, meeting Volfred's steady gaze, and assert to him that you do not feel your commitments to and from this group have yet been satisfied.
Saberas.
Hold on.
Terraki Saramanta.
Oh.
Libreta varojet. Serevare rames. Maderum sat.
Minimsare.
Davescraretas.
Aroshtasare.
Come over here, Stalker. Let's have a chat. Volfred strides toward the black wagon, which must have belonged to him. You sense many conflicting emotions among your companions. Volfred Sandalwood joined you. He knows much of the rites. Let's welcome him aboard. Your wagon cuts through a clearing to arrive at the Glade of Lu, where the stars directed you. Wolfred nods his approval, but leaves everyone to their devices. As you approach Volfred Sandalwood, you feel very much aware that you reside within his black wagon, rather than he in yours. He studies you in silence for a time. Then,
Simdare tuves.
Lusham datiskem.
Regum trageras.
Sum taverias.
Osta.
Of course, Tizo's gonna vouch for me.
Sumagasemta.
Histos. Sepranadertus.
There's another chapter in here. The Demon. Of course, we just discovered that he is a demon based on that little hint when we picked up that item for Judario. Emperor Myrrh. Scarcely could I recognize him when at last I found him. A half-starved animal, horns sprouted from his head, a bestial mirror of his blackened reputation. And I, a man who conquered countries, feared my emperor then in such a way as I had never known. My charge had been to slay this man, but when I discovered him, he was already fighting for his life. The little imp, Haub, proved of little help against the Sisters of the Arch, whose entire lives were culminating in this instant. I was unable to watch. My heart ached with such pity for the man, and for the love I felt for him when I had served him, that I sprang to his defense. So this is basically confirming what we already kind of found out for ourselves, is that this Emperor Myrrh was in fact a demon. Perhaps he was turned into a demon, because we do know that the downside has lasting effects on anyone who lives there. I'm curious if the idea is like everyone who's like in the Commonwealth is human, and it's not until you spend time in the downside that you become transformed into all these different types of beings that we have seen. You know, the harps, the saps, the withdrawn, the like snake ladies. It's kind of ambiguous if those people exist within the Commonwealth or just out in the wasteland. Could be an interesting distinction. Alright.
Mo volupentifies.
Dushliamitas.
Ron. A right light. Once per right, if the bearer's pyre is extinguished, it is instead restored by +5. Oh, so you get kind of an extra chance. It's a death defiance. And we'll buy the Stardust. Bark strip. Oh, I see. A sturdy strip of bark. On it is written, "Come to Cinderroot, S." We'll go ahead and sell that.
Malo meliosimfies.
Here we go. You and your fellow exiles arrived at the sacred site called Glade of Lu, and now look to the stars in the sky to signal the beginning of the next rite. The woods about you bring a sense of tranquility you have not felt in some time. But then, you notice one of the trees move. It shuffles towards you and regards you with an exaggerated bow.
Sacre ma spectacule.
Of course.
Ah, magenta. Mountain levitas.
H. Manly Tinderstoff at your service. Perhaps you've heard of him. He is a sycophant who seems certain he will land a position of high standing once he is free. The Chastity is the name of their team.
Some sort of perfume. Lumentralitas. Sata. Juretum grata. Harubi Mamalukis.
Once again, the stars align themselves before you, reader. And here now at the Glade of Liu, I have to say, you've come so very far. But there are those, such as your adversaries called the Chastity, who have toiled for this too. They know that with their freedom comes great opportunity. It could be yours instead.
That's the idea.
Please show the Chastity that the Nightwings are superior.
We just got another, yeah, whatever. We just got another little hint that the narrator, this is one, another matchup where the narrator seems to be biased against one team or the other. A lot of times he views Nightwings as kind of the underdogs and, like, doesn't expect much from them besides their, fast defeat. But here, and at least once before, he was like, why don't you try to beat these guys? So, what would this narrator have against Chastity? What is his... It makes it seem like the narrator has some kind of investment, one way or the other. Some vested interest in the outcome of these rights. We know that winning these rights will somehow, in some disconnected, amorphous way, will lead to freedom, but we don't really know what that means yet. So, why would he... It seems like he would not want Manly and his team to achieve their freedom. Right? The plot thickens, yeah, indeed. Helping me return unto my proper station in the Commonwealth. So this guy probably used to be some rich dude and just wants to get back to, his normal, cushy way of life. But the narrator doesn't want that for some reason.
Who shall stand together here this night?
Okay, so what's his name? He's joined my team, but not my party, so to speak. Dang, Hedwin has... Look at all that enlightenment. Should probably use him. What can he do? Hedwin and his allies regenerate stamina twice as quick. Pretty nice. He has a 1/3 chance to return immediately after being banished. You can also level that up, maybe. I'll hang on to that. Yeah, let's pick
Hedwin.
Shirusama.
Can't tell how much enlightenment she has because of her big ass head. Can I hover over this? Oh yeah. It's 1250 for the next rank. It's quite a bit. Oh yeah, as we can see, the distance between 3 and 4 is quite a lot. We see if we can get Tay up to level 3. Or maybe, let's catch Pamitha up. Because she hasn't even leveled once. Do I want to use either of these? I kind of doubt these tree people are going to be airborne very often. Yeah, let's use her. And our third member. Just use Tizo. Want him to gain a little bit of inspiration. I think I'd like to use Sir Gilman. I haven't used him too much. Unless I use... Alright, I think it's between Tay and Sir Gilman. They're at about the same level. After Sir Gilman banishes an adversary, one of his banished allies shall instantly return. That's pretty darn good. Tay. Oh yeah, she casts a lot faster. And she's at +2 quickness. Which is actually
Well,
hey, +4 quickness. Any thoughts? Any votes? Gilman or Tay? No? I'm gonna go with Gilman then. If it's just up to me. Here we go. Oh, he doesn't have an item though. Hold on. Yeah, we'll stick this contract on him. Because he's a really good offense character because of his slash ability. Let's see if I can remember how to.
Sir Gilman. Now.
Forestate. Ma temperatarium.
Alright, Manly. Oh, he's got like a... This is one of the first times we're up against a team that has like 3 different types of members. So he's obviously the tree person, looks like a regular person over here, and then a harp over here. I think most of the teams before have been like 3 of the same. Oh shit, so they do have an airborne enemy. Oh well.
Monogram Jete Master.
This stallion.
Rugraligas.
Hala below Shemta.
Is it like, it's got a little bubble around it. Is it protected? The sapling is nothing but an extension of Manly. If he is banished, the sapling should cease to trouble you as well. Yeah, but I guess it's protected.
Manly and his offspring hold no small degree of influence within the Commonwealth, reader. There are many who would welcome his return, though none so much as he himself.
Got him.
A banishment. The orb is loose.
Word headwind.
The Night Wings are the first to strike.
What? Oh, that cannot be good.
Your adversary Manly is
Shit!
in this suffocating glade. Yet he longs now for the comfort of his Commonwealth estate. Perhaps such wealth ought to be reserved instead for you.
Sweet. Go for it.
Have sap for Manly.
Go, Panther! He's so
Sir
fast.
Gilman plunges into the fire.
When Gillen's at top speed, he's a little tricky to control. Oh man, that can't be good. Oh, double kill.
Who?
Give me that. Oh, fuck.
No.
Oh, I'm not gonna be able to get in there without
Almost.
banishing.
All 3 Nightwings. Poof. The orb flies true.
So what happens if I throw the orb at that little growth?
There.
Oh, well, it's gone now.
Sublime.
Narun Katanu then. No bloody tarn you.
I don't like this. Oh, how did that miss? What?
That manly got his way this time.
Damn, 25.
You have it.
Fuck. Did not mean to.
Struggle all you like, Rita.
I didn't mean to do that.
One triumvirate stands unopposed. Deliverance.
He's got something to say every time I
Bloody tarn you.
score. Nope.
Manly's out of luck for now.
Oh, I can't fly over these. Did not realize that.
Glory.
Oh, sweet, and I healed mine for 5. That's right.
No more than a lick of flame remains. Audacious, aren't we? A devious maneuver.
I only have to hit them like one more time, though.
Alas for Headwind. Quite an exchange.
Sweet. I'm not sure exactly what happened there, but it works for me. Oh, shit.
The orb quenches the flame.
Fuck. We gotta get this one. Ah! So close.
No
right,
sign
Panther,
of the
it's all you.
chastity for now, and it is done. The Nightwings prevail
That was
again.
close.
The scribe showed them a bit of favor in the end. The rite is complete.
Oh, Madame Pyre. Kogria Marutianen.
I wonder what happens if you like let him win.
Always is there greater knowledge to be gained. A flash of inspiration for next time.
Damn it. Wait.
The exiled Pamatha perhaps can learn the errors of her kind.
Alright, so what's Panther? While flying, she moves faster than usual. After saluting her adversaries, Pamatha instantly switches places with her nearest ally. Can do some interesting things. Pamatha can use her dash ability in rapid succession and for less stamina. That would be good. Pamitha permanently gains +8 quickness, making her move much faster. Yeah, +8's pretty good. Alright. 5 seconds after banishing an adversary, Pamitha moves 30% faster than me. That's equivalent to, well, she's like 10 quickness, so plus 30%, that's plus 3, versus plus 8 down here. While casting her aura, Pamitha can trigger an aura burst that banishes nearby adversaries. If Pamitha is banished while Winged Fury's effect is active, she returns twice as quickly as usual. Oh, this. Pamitha permanently gains +4 quickness, presence, and hope, making her better all around. That is pretty good. Presence is kind of small. This seems like interesting, but I feel like I don't know if I'm that much of a strategist to use that to the full extent. Being able to dash multiple times is awesome. I'll say quickness is pretty great. Although this is pretty good because I was banishing with her a lot because her like tackle charge move is pretty good because you can use it to dash through other auras. Alright, and then you move faster afterwards. And then, I'm not sure about this aura burst, but yeah, alright. Let's go this route.
The holy power of the eldest matriarch. Until the next rite.
After thwarting the chastity in a close contest, you return to your wagon to consider your next move.
Tashkares e pravdes,
Chi factum?
vale satis.
Svale.
Teremanem raves.
Vesero. Indere tamtas.
Once more you look toward the heavens. Let us seek now our destination. Oh. This is a big one. This is the same star that appears like in the face of the scribe, the narrator, when we've seen him before. Soliam. Same name as the first exile. Golden Star.
Tim provensare.
You confirm the stars indicated this exactly.
Ne somta bere.
Wolford smiles back at him. You sense his thoughts, as though he is directing them at you.
I too can read, my boy.
Yeah, I figured that.
Forbidden though the words may be. Grande libro d'artes.
Oprare.
Fare toros.
You sense your companions are exhausted from their recent travels. Given the road ahead, you agree it would be best to take the night to recover as much as possible. Alright, looks like there's nothing new over here. At dawn, Wolfred is already up. He reveals to you a pathway through the woods into the cold lands to the north, beyond which lies your next destination. You get clear of the woods at last, and arrive in lands grown cold in the shadow of Mount Elodio. You will have to make it all the way to the top. Mount Elodio is the sacred mountain on whose summit the rites were first conceived. Whether its summit is the downside's closest point to the Commonwealth, or the farthest, none can say. In a moment of respite, Wolfred calls everyone together to discuss matters pertaining to the rites, and the plan to which he alluded.
Cersare bralios. Quare velebralias.
What does freedom even mean to you? He looks in your direction as he asks, defying you to answer. You cannot sense his own thoughts on the subject, and only know the truth of how you feel. What does freedom mean to you? Doing what you want, achieving inner peace, having no master, going where you please, to feel true love, living without fear, nothing at all. Or we can remain silent. Freedom means not being forced into responding to such questions. I would say having no master. Freedom means answering to no one's will other than your own. You tell Wolfred that freedom means not having to answer to anyone, and going through life beholden only to one's own will. He considers your remarks for a short while.
Ma forta sentas.
He then turns his attention to the whole group.
Na libra desertus. Ma libra naronsaroshe.
Oh, damn it, that was one of the options. I wonder what would happen if I had picked that. He looks out toward the distant mountains.
Prelusei travestarum. Cersam sublaritas. Pederandas vare.
Turns to you and everyone again, looking to each of you.
Ramsetam librage. Sepranum sampegrasse.
The plan, then, is this. This is important. We free each other from the downside through the rites. Then we meet up on the other side. We organize.
Algedere splaren.
Each new moon at dusk, we join together at the Spiral Sanctum. We need as many of us there as possible. My agents on the other side shall explain the rest.
Reberum dave.
Sirim dare. Presevare gares. Temptasce baromet.
Wolfred pauses for a time, examining each member of the group. No one stirs.
Iradet.
Viva la freedom, yes.
Quare velibralias.
And he lets out a long breath.
Fare toros.
Wolfred turns towards the mountains, leaving you to consider what he's said and plot the wagon's northward path. Whew. Some heavy shit. We don't know exactly how this whole gaining your freedom thing works yet. And how the rights are connected to it. But somehow we'll have a way of getting people into back into the Commonwealth to become unexiled. And supposedly, once we have enough of them in there, they'll be able to organize a revolution from within. Freedom is the natural state of man. But what about if you're a tree man? Or a bird lady? The Beyonder Crystal seeks Tizo. Alright, let's talk to him first. Volfred stares at you rather intently, as if reaching out to you, and then...
Shemtaje amitas.
We are not limited to reading pages from a book. Ooh. They haven't told you readers such as you cannot go free. I had wondered why you would insist on pressing onward with this group in light of this. The answer then was plain. You simply did not know, or fully realize. It did not deceive you, by the way. There is no reason they would know themselves, other than Tariq, who shall not influence your thinking in such matters. The natural state of tree men is oak. I don't know, man. The natural state of tree men might be, Montana. Rather, I had expected, when at first we met, that you already knew the truth of this from having read the passage in the Book of Rites, which states it plain. Only those who shall conduct the rites firsthand shall walk the path toward enlightenment, and become eligible to regain their freedom. Perhaps you have not gotten to that part just yet. Wolford breaks free from you and looks at you again. Then he speaks to you as normal. It is plain that you are not in adequate condition to conduct the rites, and this group values you as reader. I wish only to ensure you understand what you are getting into here. Despite whatever hopes and dreams and promises might have been shared, I do not think the rites can help you to return, if that is what you had in mind. So, once again, I invite you to depart, and I will see to it that you are compensated. Do not misunderstand. If it is your wish to remain, then you are welcome. But this journey we are on, it has no guarantees. Not for you, not for any one of us. Do you understand? Readers such as you cannot go free through the rites. So only those who are directly participating in the rites, only the members of the triumvirate can go free. So what reason would I have to stick around? Say that you understand, say that you do not care, or say nothing. If Volfred really wishes to know your thoughts on the subject, he knows where to find them. There is more at stake here than your freedom alone, and besides, perhaps there is a way. Might as well say I understand, right? You understand the words of warning, yet, just the same, you choose to carry on. There is more that you wish to achieve on this journey than freedom for yourself.
Racim planetaves. Merensena zemta.
He strides out of the wagon then, leaving you with your thoughts.
Maritiu Kumpra.
Oh, I forgot that I can talk to her.
Are cognitaras. Literni talosestas.
Guess the duration of her exile. She did say it was a very, very long time. You guess that Sandra could have been in her current state of exile since well before the dawn of the current age. At first, she shows no indication that she even heard you.
Jetamo tempri.
Damn. She's been there almost 1,000 years. 837 years. She's been in that little orb. She goes silent for a time.
Marexiliat pariternum.
If you decide to kill the Emperor, make sure you achieve what you set out to do. Damn.
Naliscrita domia.
I'm covering a lot of important story bits here, aren't we?
Satamas.
Alright, Tizo, let's do it.
Mote rumsa noje.
Oh yeah, I just leveled him up to respawn faster when he implodes.
Rama faroshen. Asemtastes.
I love how long the horns on his mask are. Nope. Nope. Shit. I hit the dash button. Alright, we can Does that implosion go through? Let's find out. It does. Oh, that is kind of OP. Because normally casts don't go through things. We just saw that guy's cast got blocked by this bunker thing. Oh shit. Oh, nope. Oh, damn it. Where are they at? 20. Oh, shit. Stop it. Go, go, go. One more, one more. Damn it. How did he do that? wasn't too bad.
Instrusantes. Mon protraje paloje.
The 8 scribes gave their freedom so that we may yet have ours. You take a closer look at the new artifact in your possession. Ove's Wing. Tizo's Flutter and Zip abilities cost less stamina than usual. Wow. It's pretty good. Of course, I don't know. Getting all these like extra items mean that the items I've bought so far are kind of like not necessarily obsolete because they can still be useful in certain scenarios, but you know, if I knew I was going to get this stuff, might have held off on buying it. Oh, make it cost 45% less? Yeah. Still a little bit of room to level it up, I think. I'm not sure if there's like a maximum rank for any of these things. I would guess 10? Earlier, Volford called for a group meeting, presumably to reveal his plan in more detail. Instead, he reveals some bad news.
Tevaram.
Vistare daste.
While you can indeed get yourself out of here, it can't be all of you at once. We earn our way back one by one, or not at all.
Umre libraritum.
Chebrale cerebras.
You, Hedwin, and the others exchange glances.
Vendale dantas.
Here is how the coming days are going to unfold. First, we're going to ascend Mount Elodio, there to the north. You may not think this wagon's fit for it, though rest assured it's made the journey many times. Next, we'll pass through Scribe's Gates. Only the worthy pass through there, as your reader could attest, if he did not merely skim that chapter of the book. Afterwards, we'll reach the Fall of Solion and meet our adversaries in the rites. They are to be the Tempers, led by the demon Ignarius. You'll know him when you see him.
Cerebrame parus.
Both you and they shall choose someone of your respective ranks. Then, once one of the triumvirates prevails, their somebody will be whisked home to the Commonwealth.
Tomire tamen.
Maderusat.
Once returned, our somebody is taken in and clothed and fully pardoned.
Setavelosum.
Lorigas entrave.
Taras nomin.
Geresama rictus.
So, we show up with our team of 3. We choose someone to nominate to go free. If we win, our guy gets their freedom. They go back to the Commonwealth, and they're all good. It's like a legal way for people to leave exile. It's like some kind of game show. You know, they punish all these people by exiling them and then dangle this, you know, promise of freedom. For what? Like, entertainment? Alright, let's see if we can level somebody up, I think. Alright, he could reach level 3. Oh, there we go. If I pay attention real quick in between, I can see she's like halfway to level 4. He could hit level 3. He could hit level 3. she's kind of far away. Let's mentor her, I think. Right? You and Tay spend some time reviewing some of the specific aspects of the rites, such as the properties of the aura. You sense she gained something from it. Sweet. Oh, and they, if you mentor them, they still retain their inspiration. That doesn't get used up until they, like, naturally, until they actually participate in a rite. That's cool. I was gonna get this one. Tay flings the orb farther and faster than... Let us continue. I should really try to fling the orb more often. I usually, you know, rely on the dash speed so much, but to like get in there. But if most of their team is banished, it's better to try to fling it, because then you get your whole team back instead of your. If you jump in, then that character is banished until the next score. I think my first playthrough, I ended up not flinging it a whole bunch because I misunderstood. Because I thought, like, if you fling, you do less damage to their pyre, but I think it's still based on the glory rating of the person that flings it. Here before you lies Mount Elodio, stretching far beyond your line of sight. Somewhere upon this mountain lies the only place from which you can escape the downside. Your companions gather round again before Wolfred, who stands tall as ever. Whether from the cold air or the subject now at hand, you sense a tension in the air. There is only silence. One question stands out in your mind, which you refrain from asking yet. If only one of you is to go free at first, who shall it be?
Frare timigentas.
Canoro.
Quem prevestamos. Some keras gogiter. Sirindare. Civitergi tranza. Bregandes.
Your head is beginning to spin. You can excuse yourself or keep listening. I feel like this is pretty important. Ulfred's explanations are a lot to take in, but you feel compelled to absorb as much as... Wait. To absorb as much of what he is willing to tell you at this point. He prompts for further questions whether Durdariel raises her voice again. Oh, when Durdariel raises her voice again.
Inverto.
Entrage. Kerasama rictus.
When the eight created the rites, each of them anointed certain other exiles to participate on their behalf. Exiles who showed some promise of redemption. The triumvirates they formed have stood the test of time, replenishing their numbers as their individuals moved on or passed on. So each of these teams, I believe there's 8 of them, were established by the 8 scribes that created these rites to begin with. And they're also the ones who formed the Commonwealth, and these rites are performed as sort of a way to pay homage to them. The 8 scribes also formed a special group against which all the others would be judged. So there's a 9th one.
Renan Noxanas.
That group they called the Nightwings. It's us. And so each of these teams over the years have been, new people join, people get freed or die. You bear their books, wear their masks and raiments. You need but show up to the rites, you see. The others erstwhile jockey for position for a chance to take you on. So we're like the benchmark, the litmus test.
Num cariblarius.
Repeat canta.
Victory means nothing in a common rite then. Participation is all that matters. Only the enlightened may regain their freedom. While failure can be an excellent teacher, the scribes do favor the victor. Though you see, those who do not conduct the rites, or do not prevail in them sufficiently, they may find themselves barred from the liberation rites. But these are technicalities. Nightwings disbanded years ago. Since then, no one has gone free. Yet still the other triumvirates pressed on, with fleeting hope that one day you'd be back. So if no one beats the Nightwings, no one can go free. And if the Nightwings weren't around, wow, that sucks.
Pretere magretas.
Some murmur to themselves about all this as Volfred takes his leave. Others reconnoiter pathways leading up the mountain and present you with some options. You've got Emperor's Ascent or Emperor's Fall. Emperor's Ascent, a gap through the nameless lower summits beneath Mount Elodial. Tay believes the 8 scribes will bless whoever goes through here. Emperor's Fall, a pathway on the outskirts of Mount Elodial's nameless lower summits. Ametha expects some long-lost valuables to be stashed here. Okay, so do we want a blessing? Do we want some money? We'll go for that blessing, don't you think? Let's see if she's right. The sublime beauty of Mount Elodial, along with the thin air this high above the sea, has been enough to silence even the most talkative of your companions. However, Tay has been positively bursting with excitement. Oh, Tizo. Something about her changes then. You yourself see nothing, but Tay rises almost off her feet as the imp looks on, astonished. Tay runs off to spread the word among all your companions. Strangely enough, her enthusiasm is infectious, and in spite of everything, your spirits rise. Your companions gain +2 hope for the next rite. Alright, another choice here. The Temple High Road, the first of two paths leading to the mountain summit. Edwin expressed a passing whim to see the view from here. Or the Temple Cistern, the second of two paths leading to the mountain summit. Sir Gilman wishes to look upon the sacred waters here. Alright, Edwin, this is kind of your show. So let's see what happens. It's weird, there's like... I guess there's like a sky back there. There's like stars and stuff, but all the like team logos are very prominent. You and Hedwin walk in silence for some time as he conducts a customary survey of the area.
Sare amita?
You sense something is troubling him.
Corrare se. Umre libraritum.
Of course, the reader gets to decide who gets to go free.
Samdia Karen.
The two of you walk on in silence for a time. When at last you return to the wagon, Edwin turns to you again.
Migrate stale.
Edwin feels more prepared for the next rite. Oh, nice.
Doriga Santana.
While bearing the orb, Hedwin and his allies move with and past the orb more quickly. Hedwin and his allies may instantly return vanished allies by moving to where they fell. So I guess it's like a revive. You and your companions gather at Scribe's Gate, where the single narrow trail to the summit narrows even more, and falls under an archway carved of stone. It is said the scribes themselves keep watch over Scribe's Gate. The judgment of the scribes determines who can cross and who is sent the fast way down.
Tandiem enselum. Num caraveras.
Secretaves.
Removing his hat, the lone minstrel approaches the gate. You and all the others follow. When the last of your companions nears the arch, you notice someone standing high above, and then appears before you. She eyes the lone minstrel first.
Shalom Tessa.
Salutium seres.
Ralika Darta.
Velamta seres.
Tantarara Frontus.
Val.
Vestara Dantus. Ransagelostium.
Oxare shomtas.
Your fellow exiles exchange. Your fellow exiles exchange glances, but quickly comply.
Migrate stale.
Edwin the deserter. The woman bids him forward. The lone minstrel prompts Ruki to speak up next. Ruki Greentail. Just want to get out of here with my chums, I guess.
Ma temperature.
Captain Jodario.
Timaroshen Tarumdas.
Then, as Wolfred steps forward, the one called Celeste raises her voice.
Nakirada.
Zemkaratarius.
Tenkrant.
Pogreme varemas.
She waves it by. Then she turns to you, where there is no one left to go. State who you are to traverse Scribe's Gate. You're just a crippled scholar. You are just an old farmhand. You are just a war orphan. You do not know who you are. To go you do not know. You cannot, for the life of you, recall a time before arriving in the downside. Details of the Commonwealth are scarce within your mind. Perhaps you wanted to forget the place. The one called Celeste continues to examine you, expecting you to add to your response. State also what you truly seek to traverse Scribe's Gate. You want true freedom? You want to help your friends. You want revenge. You want to see what happens. Well, we already know that I probably can't get true freedom, right? Unless this plan works somehow. But we definitely do want to help our friends. Revenge is probably not going to happen. And you want to see what happens. It's kind of, that lacks conviction. Let's go with this one. The companions you have met here, who have helped you to survive, to find kinship in the downside, your priority is to ensure that they achieve their goals. That is all you wish for now. The woman regards you for a time, and nods once, and waves all of you by.
Gratan Octeloriga. Kibaret.
Kalasivama.
Deranta Dale.
The lone minstrel bows his head and puts his hat back. He does not look back at her. So these two have some kind of history, right? It sounds like the lone minstrel. It's like his status sort of coincides with the status of the Nightwings. She said she hasn't seen him in a while, and the Nightwings have been disbanded for a while. From the top of Mount Elodiel, you can see the distant downside before you. You think on the many thousand leagues you cross to reach this point as the sky grows dim. Age reveal. Immersive Susha. Boy. What's this? River frost. So cold it can burn the skin, but keeps the wagon cool, and food fresher longer. Alright, Jadariel, what you got? Jadariel appears to be prepared for whatever is to come this night. Though it is not yet dark, she is already in her raiments. Edwin soon joins her, also looking ready.
Vatarandare.
Chissà.
Librage carica.
Agnes Everet.
The three of you exchange glances, but nothing is said or needs to be said. Soon, if Wolfred is to be believed, one of your companions may regain his or her freedom.
Nimsolis.
Kitama pare.
Este finetare.
Amira tamen.
Motiven?
Tonuk Severo.
Elanta. Alkiam dicen.
Quadre saro.
made a promise to each other, each of us, 4 of us. We're all getting out of here. How is this gonna work? Because here's another thing. You have to be a part of a triumvirate in order to nominate one person and win and get them their freedom. Once you get down to 3 people and one person goes, now you only have a team of 2. There always has to be, even besides the reader, there always has to be at least, a couple people left behind. I mean, if it was, I don't know how we're going to solve the whole reader freedom thing, but I could at least choose the 3 of them to go out of there. Math. Yeah, math. Ritual math.
I-61 ka.
Librare carga.
Figuratus.
And here's the thing, that's only if I win this right. If the other team wins, then they get to send their guy.
Salamatan.
One by one, they turn towards the door. The fall of Soliam awaits. A vital step in your quest for freedom, yet you feel in your heart that it shall only be the first. Your 3 companions each gain +1 hope for the liberation rites. So it's like really encouraging me to pick one of them. It's encouraging me to have all 3 of them in this first team. The Mercy Show. The imp Haub and I, we helped to save my emperor. And when the danger did subside, my emperor Soliam Mur, he said something to me, which shook me to the essence of my being. He said, "You gave your freedom, Master Golathanian, so that I may yet have mine. You too now are an exile of the downside. In all the days which I have left, I never could repay the mercy you have shown me. So if I cannot do so in this life, then I shall do it in the next." We crossed the land together, and together with the imp, we gained the company of those who saw in him what I did. And okay. So Gol, Soliam Mur, and the imp were one of the first triumvirates. Alright, Slugman. I guess this guy does show up at like every ritual, so it is somewhat reliable. Oh, what is this? Unlearn any masteries and choose again. Scribe snuff. Huh. Okay, that's cool. Oh man, I can't afford all these. I guess I could sell some of these other tickets. But I want to collect them all. I guess later I could buy them back, huh? If they stay. I don't know if they'll stay. Because the other items that I've sold, don't show up here, but those are just like items meant strictly for selling. I wonder if I sell one of these, if it'll stay in his little pack, and I could rebuy it from him next time. Let's not experiment with that right now. I think I'll buy these. Alright, that's good for now. Oh boy, okay, so this is where the game the outcome of the rites actually starts to matter. If I send one of my people to their freedom, they will no longer be present for any rites afterwards. And of course, in that sense, can't participate in the story. And that's a really interesting thing that this game does. Kind of in the same way that Hades does, where it, the order that you encounter the different gods, and weapons that you use and all that kind of thing, all that kind of stuff, and like whether or not you like beat certain bosses can affect the outcome of the story. But it just the story, like, it changes a little bit, but you still make progress. It doesn't really care if you win or lose. And in this game, they've sort of told us that, Judariel said that, okay, so the common rituals don't really matter too much, except, of course, you want to win so that you get more enlightenment, so that you can qualify for the liberation rite. But story-wise, doesn't matter as much. This is the big one. This is where, like I said, someone could actually sort of exit the scenario. There is like kind of an epilogue where it talks about like what happened to them after. But it's really interesting that, I could play this game and choose, a certain exile to free first, and then I just don't have them and their story, for the rest of my playthrough, whereas that could be different from someone else who keeps them like the entire time, or might free them like halfway or whatever. And just these different combinations of, you could pick any order. You could free them in any order, or not free them in any order. You could go the whole game not freeing anybody, or just free a couple. And all of those possibilities are accounted for in this game, which is super impressive. This, a lot of RPGs like to talk about and tout, non-linear storytelling, but most of the time, they're actually just multilinear. You choose one course of action, and that might affect a couple things differently, but then for the most part, the main story doesn't change that much. And I guess that's still sort of true here. The core of the story, in terms of you freeing these people, in this last liberation rite, that doesn't change. But the stories that can be told between each character change drastically. For example, we know that there's beef between Hamitha and her sister. I don't know if she's reached enough enlightenment yet, but if I free her now, we would never get to see that resolved. But if I kept her in my group, we might be able to see a conclusion of some sort to that. Or I might end up freeing her halfway, and still could be unresolved. And there's a lot of threads like that that don't really, besides her being free or not, that's not necessarily affected by if you win these rights or not. And so, again, kind of like Hades, this game, like, a loss is not a failure state when it comes to the story. Again, you still make progress. You still get something out of it. You're not, you're not getting a game over. You keep playing, and failure just becomes a part of the story. If I don't send somebody to the Commonwealth here, they'll talk about it. It'll just be, that's how it was. Instead of, getting a game over and just like trying over and over again. And, I use the term failure state. There is no failure state in this game. You just keep playing. And the results are what they are. And that's something that I wish was more common. For a number of reasons. Sorry, I'm kind of going on about this, but I'm almost there. I'm also like putting off this liberation right a little bit because I'm a little nervous because I don't want to lose. And I'm trying really hard not to save scum through this game. Sort of a self-imposed Iron Man mode. But anyway, the idea of a game over is like so outdated. That's the main point. It certainly still works for many types of games. I'm not saying like games should never have game overs anymore. But for a game that's like primarily about storytelling, game overs are really just kind of like not a good way to do it. Because, you know, even in a linear game or an adventure game, you know, or think about like an action game like Uncharted. You know, oh, you get shot and then he's dead. You know, Drake is dead, and that's not how the story goes, so we just rewind by like, you know, 20-30 seconds, and then we just keep going from where you're at. What's the point of that? So his death is not like part of that story, which, okay, that makes sense, but it's kind of weird. Like, you just try again until you get it. And that's part of what makes it a game, right? Is just rising to that challenge. But there's like no punishment, right? It's not like in Dark Souls where death is like a big deal and death is like part of the gameplay loop. Death in those games and like many other roguelikes makes sense because there's, you know, it's sort of a failure state of sorts, but it's a mechanic built into the game for a specific reason because it creates that level of tension of like, oh, I'm going to lose all these resources, and I don't want to have to like go again, right? Like in Dead Cells, the farther you get, the more cells you can accumulate, and the better you can improve your character. And that's true in like Rogue Legacy as well. Lots of roguelikes treat death very differently, so it's kind of a hard comparison here. But I'm just using them as an example to say that's when death makes sense. As like there's no real game over, but death is a failure state. But for like, yeah, high action and adventure games, like, I would like to see more creative ways to deal with death, I guess is what I'm saying. Another game that comes to mind is the original Prey on the 360. When you died, you didn't like get a game over. You went to like this spirit realm kind of thing, and you kind of do this like little mini game to bring yourself back to life. And that did two things. You know, it made it so death was not a failure state. It was just another part of the game experience, and it also showed more about the main character is supposed to be Native American, and that reveals more of his like heritage in that sense, because there's other powers that you get that are related to the spirit realm and you know, all that stuff. A very, very simple example would be the original Rage, where when you die, you play this little like defibrillation mini game to bring yourself back to life, and like that's like kind of lame just because it's so, you know, it was kind of bland, but it was a very simple solution to, you know, to the example I was talking about before with Uncharted of like, oh well, I've just lost like the last 30 seconds of my life because I died and have to try this level again or just do this section again. Besides that, you know, there's no punishment, there's no like, it doesn't change the story in any way, so like what's the point of even having death at all? Like, why can't I just keep going? Now I realize, you know, well, how, if there's no death, how do you create tension between the player and enemies? And well, that's the job of the designer to figure that out, right? Like, do something more creative. I just feel like the, you know, die, respawn, you know, and try again is just kind of overplayed. And I really like how Supergiant Games, this game and Hades, you know, are working really, really hard to find more interesting solutions. to that problem? I don't really have a good answer myself, but I really enjoy exploring it. So, let's see what happens in our liberation rite.
Ma forte sentas?
Kiratem.
Tempraje nanset.
Vutaram siste.
Nara teromesnas.
Oh yeah, what happens if we fail?
Sa.
Zenem kaje skravet.
Should you be defeated by the Tempers this night, then one of them shall end up going free instead of one of you. It is as simple as that.
Kirsare damushe. Enravetasta.
Here we go. Your story shall continue, regardless of the outcome of this or any rites, but you need to see it through.
Many years have passed since last the Nightwings gained the summit of the sacred mountain and stood upon the fall of Solium. You are to be commended for your guidance, reader, but only if you can prevail in this liberation rite. Here you stand to gain much more than some enlightenment. Your adversaries are none other than the Tempers. I trust they need no introduction. Soon, one among you shall regain their freedom.
Volunta lorigas.
Volunta lorigas.
Regeta noxalas.
Massive demon swaggers into view. He reaches for his mask. Oh damn. He's got a pompadour. Dariel's hesitation is almost imperceptible before she moves to remove her mask, just as her adversary asked.
Tace. Più caro.
Damn, I wonder if they win and they send one of theirs, does Jodariel go with them? No, I guess not. I should rather cut out my tongue. Damn, are they gonna have 3 of these demon dudes? Oh no. Have the Nightwings reached a decision on whose behalf they shall conduct this rite? The lone minstrel gets your attention in his subtle way.
Ligeratus tanta.
This is it. The first companion whom you choose shall be anointed to go free this very night if you prevail. The other 2 in the triumvirate shall lend their aid. As you may know, only the most enlightened in the rites are eligible to go free. Not all among you may be ready yet.
Vorana Tramtus.
Do I have anyone eligible?
Who most deserves their freedom?
If you were around when I started playing this game, this is what I was talking about when I said this game is heavy on you. Because all of these companions, I've traveled, I've played like, what, 8-10 hours of this game so far? Something like that. Maybe not quite that long. And, gotten to know them, done all these rituals, looked at, equipped them with new items, leveled them up, done challenges with them, practiced with them, learned how to use their abilities, you know, how well they work with other team members, gained them their experience, looked at their leveling trees, and I'm probably repeating myself at this point, but done all this stuff with them. I have a history with all of these guys now, and now I have to choose one of them to to put bluntly, I have to kick them off my team. But it's like a good thing, because we want them to go free. You know, I suppose you as a player, you could be selfish and just be like, I want to keep everybody, and you could just like throw the match. And hey, that's actually, because the story allows for it, that is absolutely something you can do. I would be curious to run a playthrough where you just like let nobody go and see how the story develops there. Because then also on the other side of that is you would see, you know, all of these other, your opponents go free, and what happens, you know, if they get their freedom. And, like, I don't know how they fit into Volfred's plan. Alright, do you think I should anoint Jodariel? She's like one of my best players, though. Alright, well, let's see. Who do I have? Oh, Ruki is unworthy. Tay is worthy. And Tizo is worthy. Wow. Edwin's unworthy. Alright, so what is it? Is it you have to be level 3? No. You seem to be a little bit above level 3? I'm not sure how they decide. Tizo's only just barely over level 3. He's got more enlightenment than Ruki does. Oh no, he doesn't. Huh. Maybe it'll tell me. 3750. Oh, that's probably it. 3,000's probably. Oh, nope. He's got 2850. So maybe it's like 2,800. Ah, all right. I'll anoint Jodariel. See what I'm going to be missing out on. Greater banishment. Oh, Jodariel can banish adversaries by flinging the orb into them. Oh, I wouldn't have been able to get that anyway. It just sounds like fun, though. Alright. Go.
Jodariel.
Then, the Gate Guardian looks upon you and your adversaries.
Eradita. Minsaste taroste.
She then turns to you.
Varisikrama.
So that's another thing is that you can do is you could intentionally throw the match to get their anointed off of their team, because the next time you face them, they won't be there. And that could make your life easier the next time around.
Who shall stand with her?
Alright, I'll do the OG Triumvirates. If I want to level this up at all. Almost 40% chance to return immediately. That worked really nicely in the last matchup, actually. I think he ended up coming back quite a bit. Might be good to give that to Judariel too, because she's got such a huge aura. If she pops up right at the flame, she could easily take out somebody who's about to score. But it's too late for that. But Headwind's got bigger presence than Ruki, so...
Headwind.
Alright, Ruki. Do I want to use this? Casts or it lingers longer than usual. Oh yeah, that's a good one. I roll this. It's 220. Yeah, might as well. This is for all the marbles right now.
Ruki.
Great.
Very well.
Conceal Taram.
Israel.
Welcome back.
Volunta Lorigas.
Alright, so it looks like, what do they have on their team? A worm, a demon, and whatever these guys are called, the snake people. It's an interesting combination.
Commence.
Oh, this is a really cool song too. Ooh. Oh, go for it, Rookie. Oh, nice. Got him. Ooh, they're because they have a demon on their team, so their Pyre is a little bit bigger than them. You can also play keep away for a little bit to try to wait. Oh shit! For your teammate to respond. Stop it. Got him. Right headwind. That was close. They almost got me. Nope. Nope. Nice. Damn, 25. I got my whole team back now. Yeah, 15 is the same as if he jumped in. I'm still here. Ooh, that's right, the worm can... Whoa.
Your Pyre cannot take much more of that.
What happened there? Looked like they threw the orb backwards, but...
That's it.
Yes!
In the name of Solium
It's
Murs,
30.
the demon whom you face was once a man, long since tainted by the downside,
Oh, it's right.
or rather by his crimes.
They're human when they get
I
exiled
suspect
and they
his
get turned by the
penance is not
downside.
yet
Slowly but surely. Are you Rookie?
Ruki doused the adversary's flames.
More, one more.
Now go on, just once more.
Ah, shit.
All for naught.
Ooh!
Simply monstrous. All of the temper's gone, and there it is, at last. The Night Wings proved their worth. As for their adversaries, they did not.
Jodariel!
Thus ends the liberation rite. And thus, the scribes have chosen the exile appointed by the Night Wings shall be free, absolved of all misdeeds, return to glory in the Commonwealth. Her adversary and all others shall remain to carry out their rightful sentences.
Kerale tenta. De para fide.
See her smile faintly as she disappears into the shimmer pool. Though you still can hear her voice, though faintly now.
Bombare vos.
Jodariel earned back her freedom. May she return in glory.
Godspeed, Captain Jodariel. The 8 scribes are ever merciful. By their grace, the cycle of the rites may soon commence again.
I feel like they should earn a little more inspiration for the liberation rites compared to the regular ones, but that's okay. Man, it's like you want to be happy for her because she's free. And even though she was a little reluctant when we selected her, she was like, "Me? Why?" She still was like grateful.
The 8 scribes gave their freedom so that we may yet have ours.
After your victory over the Templars and the Liberation Rites, you return to your wagon to decide how to proceed from here.
Llama Samia.
Me too, Edwin.
Inuse Morasa.
Maremdare Varkos.
Chissà mestrale.
Namorente.
The night sky over Mount Elodiel is much darker than you would have expected. Your thoughts are with Jodariel as you look toward the heavens. You gaze into the darkness of night. They're all dark. You search and search the sky, but in vain. No stars are shining now.
Estrale tasivestas. Halibrale dictas. Vonsare tekitas.
Alright, so oddly enough, the stars have not been shining, so we don't have a location yet. But we have some time to prepare. I think I'd actually like to end the stream here. Because that's like a major victory. It's a major point in the story that we've just accomplished. And I'm hoping that each stream I'll be able to go through a full cycle and end on the Liberation Rite. I think that would be kind of a cool way to do this. So, I'm going to save here, and... wait, can I... oh, it saves automatically, never mind. So we'll pick up right here where we're leaving off, to begin the cycle anew. So, until then, thank you for joining me for Pyre, and we'll see what happens next time, next cycle of rites. Hope to see you then.